Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have quite an exciting character update for ANDOR Season 2, as well as just an overall initial update for ANDOR Season 2. It feels like forever since we've last heard anything new into the regards of ANDOR and for its second season. Of course, we're gonna hop right on into it, breaking it all down for you guys, everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video we are going to be taking a quick read from one of my favorites out there, StarWarsNewsSet.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. If you guys couldn't already tell by the thumbnail or by the title of this video, there's a new rumor circulating around with actual reputable sources out there like StarWarsNewsSet.com reporting on this, that Ben Mendelsohn would be returning as ORSON KRENIC alongside other Rogue One characters for ANDOR Season 2. Of course, ORSON KRENIC having been the main antagonist or bad guy of the Rogue One Star Wars story movie, Deploy the Garrison, their article reads, Ben Mendelsohn is reportedly making a comeback as Rogue One, a Star Wars story's antagonist ORSON KRENIC in the Disney Plus series ANDOR for its second season. So more specifically, according to the playlist.com, Mendelsohn will be returning as KRENIC closer to the end of the show's run, as you might anticipate or expect of its second and final season. Something that we've heard much about of ANDOR in its second season, in that it's essentially supposed to run right into the events of the Rogue One movie. At what exact point is not clear, of course, because that kind of thing is just kept under wraps, of course, and saved for the actual show. But considering that each 3-episode arc of the series covers about a year of Cassian Andor's life in the fledgling Rebel Alliance leading up to the events of the Rogue One movie, it is more than likely that it will have his appearance won't actually happen until those last 3 episodes of the series of Season 2, which directly leads into the events of Rogue One, as I had mentioned. Indeed, the director of those last 3 episodes is the one who has spilled the beans about director KRENIC, ORSON KRENIC, making a comeback as well. The playlist has discovered that this bit of information while talking to the director, Alonso Ruza Palacios, my apologies if I mispronounced that last name, who praised the opportunity to work with actors like Ben Mendelsohn, Stellan Skarsgård, and Forrest Whitaker. Of course, it's very exciting and quite an opportunity to work with so many talented names, but when you casually mention them like that and kind of spoil it unintentionally like that, I find it honestly pretty funny. The director is one of the 3 directors who will be working on the final season of the show, with others being Ariel Clemen, who directed 6 episodes, and Janice Metz, who also directed another 3 episodes. Also, Tony Gilroy, having been the showrunner and the the writer of this overall show, is also going to be around. Writers for the season include Tony Gilroy, Beau Willimon, Dan Gilroy, and Tom Bissell. This report comes in spite of the prior indications from Ben Mendelsohn about his apparent lack of an involvement with the series, which itself had followed those initial reports of him making a return to the franchise. By those means, as I had mentioned from the get-go at the beginning of this video, this is merely supposed to be really a rumor, I think, at that, but the idea of having ORSON KRENIC return in a galaxy far, far away, especially and specifically for ANDOR in its second season, its second and final season, was nothing more than really a fan speculation or a bit of a rumor that had been floating around for the better part of 6+ months, something that we've kind of talked about here in and out of our videos on the channel, and this more or less doesn't feel like a rumor. This feels like kind of almost like just a confirmation. It's really a simple slip up, I think, all at the same time as well. But when these kind of slip-ups happen, it always makes me wonder, why didn't these sources like cut it out, essentially? Like, they know better, they've signed those contracts and those NDAs, and you would also hope and think that maybe Lucasfilm themselves would also kind of have a final say before posting any given interview and article when it comes to, a director or a creative working on the franchise, of course, specifically for Star Wars, but I think this can be applied to any franchise, Marvel Studios especially, by which, if you're a Marvel fan, we have our Marvel channel linked in the description down below. Let's not forget Tom Holland between Infinity War and Avengers Endgame going on a rampart, kind of just spoiling spree, unintentionally, of course. But when you look back on those interviews and those kind of reports, it's also kind of like, well, why didn't they just edit that clip out kind of scenario? The same thing's kind of applied here. I'm not complaining though, because it kind of is interesting to have those kind of reveals and those bits of snippets, and give us more insight on what we're anticipating and expecting to see here with Andor Season 2. In other news, a part of Andor Season 2, recently Andor leads actor Diego Luna had confirmed the presence of Rogue One characters while also speaking at the Ace Superhero Comic-Con 2024 VI over popverse.com. However, he didn't mention directly, like, Orson KRENIC specifically, or characters like the director kind of just did there as well. He says this all in quote, "I can tell you Rogue One is coming, so there will be characters there that you will recognize. There will be some cool stuff. For those who love Rogue One, this season is going to be very special, and it's going to be quite fascinating to go straight to the events of Rogue One after watching this second season, because we will see Rogue One from a different perspective. I promise that you can kind of tell one thing. Tony Gilroy is a fantastic writer, and he's created amazing characters that we got to meet in Andor Season 1. It's going to be very much of a rich second season, because all of those stories now really matter today. It is a true ensemble piece. It got very complicated in Season 1, and everything has to kind of get resolved. Every story matters." Ending that quote right there. That's really something from my own praise that I've really enjoyed about the Andor show, is the way that they work around and with these different characters and their kind of ongoing different stories, how they all tie together though in a larger, vast, more bigger universe, of course, more of a cinematic universe, all coming together in such a vast story, and kind of those little tiny moving parts, essentially, if you will, of this greater story of Rogue One and of the rebellion, all the tiny parts that make the rebellion happen within the canon story. The Playlist.com has also noted that showrunner Tony Gilroy previously indicated that Daniel Mays, who played Tivik, the ill-fated Rebel Alliance informant that Cassian Andor had to shoot instead of extract at the beginning of Rogue One, would also be making an appearance. This is just a straight kind of reveal and confirmation from Tony Gilroy, though, however, something I think that we've known about for the better part of a year almost, which only makes sense when it has already been kind of revealed that the final scene of the series would lead directly into Andor's debut appearance in the film, like he'll be arriving there at the planet where we kind of see him at the beginning of Rogue One. Tony Gilroy also previously teased that Alan Tudyk may also be making a return as the wisecracking reprogrammed droid K2SO.